Welcome to this edition of the Wonderbury Podcast.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Dave.
And you can find us online at wonderbury.com.
And I am D. Wonderly on Twitter.
I'm Brian Keysbury, anywhere the internet can be found.
You can leave us a comment on our website. Check for the link in the description.
Woohoo.
How's it going, Brian? Or Reddit? Yeah. Good week?
Busy. Art price still. 400,000 people every 3 weeks, so I'm tired.
Is it good sales for you guys at least?
People don't come to buy things, they come to look at art.
Oh, that's true.
So, hand out a lot of cards for anybody that looks like they might be interested. That way they can come back later.
Well, that's good. You guys give like a 5% or 10% discount or something if they come in with the card?
No.
Fucking incentives, right? Well, it's been an interesting week for me as well.
Yeah.
We ended up getting Mom. She had that episode last Thursday. We ended up getting her into a kind of quasi-retirement home / physical therapy rehab type place. So she can get the help that she needs and kind of try to get better and everything. So took care of that over the last couple of days and finalized all that. She seems to be enjoying it, so that's kind of good news. Yeah.
One thing I did do.
Yeah.
I moved my angelfish out of the quarantine tank into my big tank.
How are they doing?
A lot better now. Everything seems to be coming along pretty good.
That's good. That's
definitely bouncing back from the major catastrophe.
Yeah, mine's slowly clearing up. I still got some work I got to do to it, but it's getting better and better. The fish seem to be happy. They eat a whole lot.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, they do that, huh?
Yeah, they do.
Imagine how I feel with 4, almost 5 tanks.
Yeah, no, I'm having a hard enough time keeping up on 1. I don't need 5.
Yeah.
Too many.
So I'm actually, as we speak, I'm posting a picture of my tank to my Instagram. Check out my Instagram this week.
Cool. I wish Instagram would add 360 support.
I wish Instagram wasn't owned by Facebook, Dave, but we can't have what we want.
I thought that Instagram being owned by Facebook would actually help my cause of wanting to get 360 stuff on Instagram, because Facebook has been actually, outside of YouTube, Facebook's the best place to post 360 stuff. Especially pictures. Because it automatically detects and it automatically sets it up that way. It's not that big of a deal. But alas, Instagram still wants to force everything, and I understand why they're forcing everything in 4x3, but I still wish they'd have good support for 360 for sharing and for that kind of stuff, because that would be kind of nice. And no, I'm not going to make my own.
It's alright. YouTube does it so well.
The thing I like about YouTube as well is the analytics. It shows a viewing heat map. So you can see where people are focusing in certain videos and stuff. Yeah. And to me, that's kind of a really cool a real cool little tool to use.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah.
Because then you can... It gives you the option to figure out what people are liking and what they aren't, and you can kind of adjust your strategy to video creation.
Yeah.
Like we early on we saw that our major demographic for Wonderbury was like the 30 to 50-year-old women, or 50 plus or something.
Yeah, a little bit into it was like 45 to 55 plus, and I thought that was a little interesting of the demographic.
Yeah, so we made my face bigger and then proved to that.
Oh, Brian.
What?
So, last Sunday,
the Cougars like me. And if you don't believe me, you should have been up in
no,
the shop this week.
I absolutely believe you. But Sunday, something happened.
Oh boy.
Football. I mean, Star Trek.
Wait, football's still a thing?
Yeah.
The which football?
It's the football that had all of the wife beaters, the rapists, the murderers, and the dog fighters that no one complained about. But the moment someone kneels instead of stands, everyone loses their mind. So, good job on priorities, people.
Yeah.
Star Trek, though.
Yeah. All inclusive.
Just going to be a little bit of a warning right here. There might be some spoilers tossed around in this episode. So, If you don't like spoilers, we'll see you next week.
And if you don't like Star Trek, why are you even listening to us? Our very first episode was called No Man Has Gone Before. Pretty big clue. This was going to happen.
We beam into every episode, so you had to know this was coming.
Yep.
What were your initial thoughts?
Kind of a mix of wow and why.
Yeah.
Like, because I watched the first episode, the live on air one.
Yep.
Well, I guess my initial thoughts were, God damn it, CBS. And then after that, when the wow kind of kicked in, I was disappointed initially because you had to watch it on the live channel. Luckily, they had that built into the app. But guess what? It wasn't as nearly high a quality as watching an actual stream. So, it still had like low quality looking pixelated graphics.
See, I waited extra, I think it was 10 minutes after it aired. It was available on the stream side. So I watched both the first and the second off the stream.
Yeah.
Instead of having to watch it live.
I had started right away.
Fort Wayne apparently isn't big enough to have our local CBS affiliate broadcast live on the app. So I couldn't watch it in the watch live section. I had to wait till it popped up over on the show tab itself.
Yeah.
I thought after watching the two that the wrong episode aired on television. I thought that the leap in story and quality from the pilot to the second episode was massive. I thought the second one was much better and would have done CBS a much better service had that one been the one available on the for free over the air.
They should have been combined. It should have been one big launch episode.
Yeah.
Because the setup feels like the story just starts right now. Like after, the 2 episodes were the setup, and now...
And now coming this week is going to be the series, because we didn't see Discovery, the USS Discovery. We were stuck completely on the Shenzhen, and one of the characters I was super excited about's dead. So there's that going for it. Like, you messaged me, so I had gone straight from the first episode directly into the second one, and because I was watching on the stream, I was getting the condensed, not long commercials for both episodes.
Yeah.
So by the time that you had messaged me last Sunday night that how much you were digging, was that Michelle Yeoh?
Yeah.
Her character, I had just watched her character die. And I almost thought about spoiling it for a second for you, being like, well, don't worry, she'll be dead by the time this thing gets off the ground anyway. But...
because I was like, wait, you think she's gonna think this would be doable as a captain? Like, she didn't, like, she was a good character, but I wasn't like super impressed with her as a captain. But I mean that could have developed, and that's what I was thinking. I'm like, is she gonna work out? Like, is this gonna work out? Is her? And no, it didn't. Clearly didn't. That's all right.
No, but there was a lot of complaints because I follow the Star Trek subreddit, and there were lots of complaints about how how her as a first officer was completely unbelievable because she broke all these rules and all this stuff, and how dare they go with those old tropes. But at the end of the second episode, she's stripped from rank and sentenced to prison for life. Yeah. It's not like she's getting away with any of this stuff. She thought that she was doing the right thing, broke the rules, and is paying a price for it.
Yeah.
I mean, do we really want to talk about what happens? Okay, let's talk about mutiny. Let's talk about Kirk and the bridge crew stealing the Enterprise. And what happens to him in the end? He gets the Enterprise handed to him. Sure, he got busted down from Admiral to Captain, but he hated being an Admiral.
Yeah, that's what he wanted anyways.
Yeah. If anything, it was too realistic and not Star Trek-y enough. I think I understand what they're doing with the Klingons. So
yeah, because
this is yet a new iteration of what Klingons look like. I'm not counting Star Trek Into Darkness and the whole Kelvin universe. I'm discounting that whole thing. I'm sticking with the television series. So you had the original series, which had the original smooth-headed Klingons. I think the history of that was addressed in both Enterprise and a little bit or it was addressed in Deep Space Nine and expounded upon during Star Trek Enterprise.
Now, if I remember right, Worf actually didn't address anything and told him it was none of their business.
I think he said it was none of their business, but it was the first time that it was acknowledged by the show that Klingons looked differently in Kirk's era than they did in the TNG DS9 era.
Yeah.
What Enterprise did was they explained it. So when in the premiere of Enterprise, if I remember correctly, it's been a long time since I've watched Enterprise. So in Broken Bow Part 1, there was a Klingon on Earth. And he had the TNG DS9 style ridges in his head.
Yeah.
And that caused all sorts of uproar of, this is before Kirk's time, they were smooth-headed, what's going on, violation of canon. Well, as time went on, they explained it that there was, and I can't remember the name of the race off the top of my head, but they were going through and they were stealing body parts and harvesting them, and they were doing all sorts of fun stuff genetically, and part of who they targeted were the Klingons that took away the ridges and replaced it with smooth during a period of time until that whole thing kind of wore out. The Klingons that we see in Discovery, they look like they're about halfway through that process of going from the proud ridges to more of a smooth.
Yep.
And I like how, there was another complaint of the houses, how they looked differently. And I'm thinking that makes sense if you look at it like we have on Earth with different ethnicities. So you can tell geographically usually where someone pretty close approximate are, depending on the difference of their facial features and their eyes and their skin tone and ears and, noses or chins or whatever. You can kind of place where people come from based on those things. And I kind of saw the Klingon houses the same way.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was feeling too, just watching it. There was 24 separate houses that were just scattered around, and that made sense with them not all looking quite the same.
Yeah, I looked at it as the houses were an ethnicity issue as well as a family lineage issue. And when you're talking about a global scale instead of a nation scale, so instead of it being like Scotland's houses, it's the world's nationalities, and we just call ourselves houses.
Yep.
Type of an idea, And I think that made a lot of sense. I liked the misfits being kind of the religious fanatics to bring them together. I really liked that idea and that whole concept. Yeah. Because being a massive fan of Klingons, their mysticism that they have and their spiritual mysticism is really deeply ingrained. There's a lot of talk and a lot of bolster about honor and all this stuff, but their spiritual mysticism is actually quite impressive.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to Kahless.
Yeah. They're probably the most religious centric species in the whole series. Yeah. In the whole universe.
Yeah, which doesn't seem like that might be the case. A lot of people would think that maybe Vulcans were, but Vulcans, no. That's not more of a spiritual as it is well, I guess it's spiritual in the same way a Buddhist, look in yourself type of a way.
Yeah.
With the whole power within and the logic and all that stuff. That seems like it would be spiritual, but it's more Zen than it is spiritual. If I'm saying that right.
Yeah. I was hoping there would be a little more info in the CBS app. I don't. I guess I don't know what I was expecting out of the CBS All Access app. I think I was expecting a Star Trek app, and I'm pretty well disappointed because it's a crappy
It's a
CBS
streaming app.
Yeah.
It's a television streaming app that Star Trek has a piece of.
Yep.
And not a very big one at that.
Yeah. Hopefully the support will show support for Star Trek. I don't know. That's going to be a debate. It's like if we're paying CBS money to use the app? Are they gonna see people paying for all access and go, oh, people like Star Trek, we should keep funding that? Or are they gonna see us paying for Star Trek only and go, oh, all access is a success, let's keep pushing it?
We kind of covered this a few weeks ago when we were talking about the dangers of cord cutting.
Yeah.
And what we're seeing, the best part about cord cutting is that we break free from the cable and the satellite companies.
Yeah.
The problem is that the cable and satellite companies was the only glue holding hundreds of individual media conglomerates together in one place.
Yep.
We have shown that we don't like all of them in one place, and because they're losing money, they needed to figure out what to do to survive. And instead of everyone being in one place and you pay $80 a month, now you have 40 different people charging $6 to $10 a month for access to their service because they're no longer getting it from the cable companies.
Yep.
So as much as we like to complain about things like CBS All Access and everyone else is starting to do it, we're kind of indirectly the cause of it.
Yeah. I think it's just in a weird transition phase where nobody knows what to do.
Yeah.
I don't like paying. I've never had Hulu. I had Hulu for a couple of months, and I almost paid for it. And then when I was signing up to pay for it, it said that I would still have to watch commercials. Yep. Even though I was paying for it.
Yeah.
And I decided, you know what? I don't want to pay for a service where I have to watch commercials. I would pay to not watch commercials. That's what I do with YouTube.
Yeah.
That's what we do on Netflix.
Hulu does now have a commercial-free option. It's just a few dollars a month more than the still commercial option.
Yeah, but it's too late now. I already moved to Netflix because they didn't have that then.
Yeah.
And I feel like CBS could do the same thing. They have their advertising network. Mm-hmm. We don't pay to watch CBS on a TV.
No.
Why wouldn't there be a streaming option with commercials for free? Like why wouldn't that be a possibility? And then yes, the premium option is no commercials, just content. You pay for that.
Because they're in the business to make money, not to provide a service.
Yeah, but they still make money displaying advertisement.
Not as much. Money spent on advertising is in a constant free fall. That's one of the reasons why YouTube changed up its algorithms for advertising. It's because advertisers just simply weren't paying anymore.
Yeah.
Advertising dollars and revenue from advertising is in a free fall plummet and has been for a little over a year. With YouTube Red was one of the biggest ones to start doing that, and Netflix figuring out how they get around not having advertisements. The way that you do it is you charge more or you start charging for a service. And good, bad, right, or wrong, I don't know what it is yet. It's media and television is changing. Yeah. Things are going digital very, very quickly. And with things going digital and, setting up a transmitter is a one-time cost fee to buy the stuff for a transmitter and power to power it. With everything going digital, now you're, instead of paying a one-time large chunk of fee and then a very low monthly maintenance rate, you're paying a sizable chunk fee to get it started and high-end premium bandwidth rates on top of it. For them to provide a bandwidth streaming service costs them a hell of a lot more than broadcasting over the air did. To the point where the old model no longer can make financial sense because the advertisers aren't willing to pay the amount of money required for the stream side. And the other half of this too is that, for example, CBS, a lot of the advertising is reliant on the local affiliates. They fill a lot of the ad time revenue. And so now CBS has been able to have that all generated and populated at the local level, whereas on a streaming service, they don't have nearly enough national ads to cover that cost. Does that make sense?
So I have FX now as well. They show a lot of Michigan advertisements, like a lot. It's possible. I can use Google AdWords and figure out exactly where I want to display specific ads. And that's you can do that. It costs more money to do that. FX has always been a cable only channel though. They're used to running at a different... FX has always handled advertising for FX. CBS International, or CBS as a broadcasting group, never has had to manage the ads for its local affiliates. They had national ads that had to get pumped through. Yeah. Those got sent to the local affiliates, and then it was up to the affiliates to fill the rest of the airtime, the ad time, with ad stuff. But why aren't they doing that same thing with digital? Why aren't they? Because they have an association with the affiliate enough so that I can watch the live streaming channel in the app. Like I can watch the affiliate channel.
But I don't.
Yeah, so why couldn't they even just use that step and display those ads?
That is up to the affiliate to do that. You have access to the affiliate because the affiliate did all the groundwork. I don't have access to the affiliate because affiliates do the groundwork and not CBS, as in the larger organization. It's still in infancy. I'm sure they're going to figure this all out.
You'd better.
But it's still all in infancy, and it's still all extremely annoying. You know, I'm still ticked off that we have blackouts for sports.
It's kind of mind-numbing that a city the size of Fort Wayne, that their CBS affiliate would not have.
Do you want to hear Do you want to hear? You want to hear the two affiliates that have their stuff together in Fort Wayne to broadcast on streaming? Are you ready for this?
PBS.
PBS is one. Can you guess what the second one is?
Fox?
Nope. The CW.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
I can watch local CBS and I can watch local the CW. I cannot watch local Fox, ABC, NBC, or CBS.
Huh. You watch a lot of Dawson's Creek there, do you, then?
No, I actually watch Fool Us. Penn and Teller's show, Fool Us. It's actually kind of a fun show to watch. It's the only thing I watch on the CW. Which is the only reason why I know the CW broadcasts like that.
So, here's my one here's a positive thing about CBS All Access.
Yeah.
I have an app
Yeah.
On my Shield. I got an update on my Shield yesterday.
Oh, nice.
And it now has the Google Assistant built in. I push my little microphone button. I say, hey, Google, do whatever I want you to do. CBS was already baked into that. I can push my little button, or I can just be sitting in my living room and say, okay, Google, play Star Trek on CBS, and it will play Star Trek on my TV.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. I did discover something cool that my Roku does.
No, hold on. Now let me finish my comparison. So that works for CBS and YouTube.
Right.
And not ABC, NBC, FX, Fox, Comedy Central, HBO, Netflix. Oh, no, it does work for Netflix. So Netflix, YouTube, and CBS. 3 apps where that works. And I once it told me that, and it said, and I have a lot of apps, like, have I sent you the video of me scrolling through my apps? I have a crap ton of apps. I've pretty much installed every possible thing I could find. All of those, and those were the only 3 that had support for that. And I went, hey, thanks, CBS. At least you put in that extra step to make things a little bit nicer and a little bit easier for me.
So I've come to the conclusion, just to kind of wrap this whole thing up, because we're running real close to out of time here soon.
Yeah.
I've come to the conclusion that these individual, CBS, and I'm sure Fox will start doing it here before long, and ABC and some of the other ones, they're all going to start doing their own streaming stuff. And
oh yeah, no, they already do.
The message sent by signing up to these, because they watch the analytics of who signs up and what they watch. Yeah. The only thing that I've ever clicked on since I've opened up CBS has been Star Trek. I won't watch the other shows. I really don't watch anything else on CBS. I don't watch much TV. If they had sports, then I'd probably watch my Colts games there, but they don't. So I don't. Because that's, once again, local up to the local affiliate.
Speaking of which, though, you should watch Into the Dome, or Under the Dome. But it's on Amazon Prime, and guess what?
Oh, I'll watch it there. No commercials.
I've been getting some random commercials on Amazon, and I'm starting to get mad. Especially because it's been on their original shows, and then they're giving me ads for other original shows. And I'm like, hey, why don't you just shut the fuck up and show me the show I'm trying to watch? Yeah, I'm paying you, like, I don't remember. Anyways, Under the Dome is a CBS produced show, and CBS app has, I think, 2 seasons, and so I ended up having to go to Amazon Prime anyways to watch the 3rd season.
All right.
So, yeah, that was I was like, how is it your show, but you don't have all the seasons on there?
Because it's all about licensing.
Yep. Which then...
everyone wants an exclusive licensing arrangement, and so people get exclusive licensing arrangement. It's their show, and I'm sure that they signed that licensing agreement before they realized they were going to be pushing all access. So when a licensing agreement states, you can broadcast this live, but we will hold the exclusive rights for the first digital rebroadcast, means even though it's their show, they can't legally show it first because they signed those rights away to someone else.
Idiots. I should be in charge of more stuff like this, I think.
Yeah, but it makes them a lot of money to do that.
Yeah.
But here's how I look at All Access for Star Trek. I will go to a movie theater at least once, sometimes twice, and I will pay $12 to $14 for a movie ticket. I will pay $4 to $8 for a popcorn, and I will pay $3 to $6 for a drink.
And like $28
and I will
for
go
the
in,
bucket.
And I will sit down, and I will watch a 2-hour movie, and I will have spent upwards of $20. We are getting... So I am willing to pay $10 an hour to go to a movie theater and watch a movie. A Star Trek movie. And I'm willing to do that more than once. By paying for CBS All Access, I'm paying $1.50 an hour to watch Star Trek.
That's pretty comparable.
If you want to break it down by hour of Star Trek, that's what it breaks down to. You go to a theater and you pay $10 an hour for Star Trek. I sit at home and I pay $1.50 an hour for Star Trek.
Yep.
That's what I'm doing. And not only am I paying $1.50 an hour for Star Trek, I'm spreading it out over several months and not all at once.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I'm going to have to watch a month and a week of Star Trek to get to, or let me put it like that. I'll have to go through 2.5 months of Star Trek to get to what I paid for a Star Trek movie. So, I wouldn't freak out about it too much. When you boil it down to minutes of Star Trek or hours of Star Trek, you're coming out pretty well heftily on top.
Yep.
So, but I know we've run a little late over this time, I believe, so.
All right. We'll see about the next...
Been a fun episode, though.
Yeah, we'll see about not bitching about things next week.
We'll find something happy to talk about.
That's what we do. That's what we do.
That's what we're good at. But till next week, Brian.
Next week should be a big Google one, I think. Right? Wait.
A big what?
Maybe. Big Google one. I don't know. I don't know what day it is.
I have to look to find out what exactly. I do know that hockey starts here the next couple weeks, so looking forward to the hockey season.
Yep.
Go Kings, go.
We got a Google announcement on the 4th, which is Wednesday, which will be plenty of time.
Oh, yeah.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Yeah, so next week will be the Google announcement. Let's go Pixel 2.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right. We'll see you next week.
All right. Yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Which reminds me, I want to get on Twitter. Gotta do a tweet.